Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Sunday Morning Preview. I'm Billy Hunt here with Eric Van Horn and Luke Nichols, bringing you the action from around the NFL. Thursday Night Football, we saw an exciting game come down to the wire between the Colts and the Texans. 20-17 win for the Houston Texans. Big win for them over the AFC opponent, looking for that wild card spot. Both teams fighting for it. What did you guys see in that game?
I mean, all I could really talk about is Deandre Hopkins. He had the 2 touchdowns, and he always just looks like, whenever you kind of think, like, oh, maybe he's not the best receiver in the NFL, he always kind of comes back and like, maybe, but he's obviously, I think, top 3 to
Yeah,
me.
easily. Him, Mike Thomas, you can throw a couple other names
Khalid,
around in that discussion.
Tyreek
Hill.
Yeah.
No, I definitely think he's the best. I would say he's definitely the best receiver in the NFL. He's not.
The fast.
It's not like cheating in a way where, like, if you say Tyreek Hill's the best receiver in the NFL, it's like it's because of his speed.
Right.
Or if you say when Calvin Johnson was in the league, if you say he's the best receiver in the NFL, it's because of his size. Or DeAndre Hopkins only like 6'1", and he isn't like game breaking fast. He's just like good at playing the position.
He just knows how to play the position. He knows how to get open. He uses his feet well. Uses his body well, and he's
doesn't drop anything.
Yeah,
no,
he really doesn't drop anything. And he's such a good route runner that I think it opens so many things for him. That's why he was able to get that deep touchdown late in the game winner. And I think that was like the game breaker that kind of broke the Colts in a sense. But talking about the Colts, no Marlon Mack, who's quietly 5th in the league in rushing this season. But I just think it's because of his volume of carries. He's the only real running back on that team. Jonathan Williams had a great game, 104 yards and a touchdown. But Brissett really struggled.
Yeah. I mean, that run game, getting Jonathan Williams 100 yards, that really shows like how good that offensive line is.
Quentin Nelson is...
You could probably run behind Quentin Nelson for an entire game and only lose by 3 or maybe a touchdown. You'll still have 200
he's that good. That's such a good draft pick for them.
So good.
And they still have Costanzo at the tackle position, and they're just a really... Ryan Kelly, the center. They're just a quiet, insane group.
I actually think where the Colts are record-wise and how they would finish the rest of the year, because right now the Texans won that game, so now the Texans are in first in the division.
Yeah, right.
7-4, right?
Yeah.
And then the Colts are 6-5.
6-5.
6-5.
So still one game.
I actually think the Colts. I know this isn't like college, like football, but if anyone saw last night the Arizona State Oregon game, Justin Herbert, who's supposed to be like a top 10 pick.
Yeah, I see a lot of him going like 8 to.
He really struggled yesterday, and he's gonna kind of fall. And I think because Tua got hurt, he's also gonna fall.
Yeah, Tua could fall to like the 3rd, 4th.
That's a bad injury.
I mean,
I think he'll still go in the first round. I think the Colts.
I think late first.
The Colts would be an ideal place to take him.
Yeah.
Instead, because I don't really think Brissett's a franchise
well, no,
guy.
but why would they take him? They just signed Brissett to 2
Yeah,
years,
I think they like
million.
Brissett.
I think they like him a lot. I mean, maybe just because they panicked and they were in a situation. Because Brissett can play the quarterback position.
Yeah.
It's not like he's not going to lose you games.
You're not going to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, you're not going to.
Yeah, that's very true.
It's their time now. They got a good young defense. Darius Leonard. They got a lot of guys playing well. And they've been in every single game this season they've played. Yeah. All their losses are close down the wire because you don't have that quarterback that's going out to win you games. But if I'm them, I'm looking maybe free agency too. Try to sign.
But I mean, even if you gave him that contract and you have the opportunity to get a guy that can be as good as Tua can be, you go and get him anyway.
But I'm not high on Tua at all. When you have those wide receivers around you, I feel like anybody can play and throw.
That's very true.
You just got to get in the hands of those playmakers, and they're gonna.
Those 3 wide receivers are all projected to go first round this year.
Yeah, he's throwing to 3 first-round wide receivers.
That's wild.
And he really struggled against Ellis. He didn't play in the LSU game, did he?
No, he did.
And he struggled.
He just didn't play that well. He had a fumble.
Yeah. He struggled with 3 number, and LSU might have the best secondary in all of football.
LSU's defense sucks.
No, their
secondary
secondary's good.
Their secondary is always good.
But then if they're bad and Tua struggled, that just goes to my point that he's.
You can have a bad game. I like Tua.
I don't like him at all. I think he's very accurate, but he doesn't have that strong of an arm, and he's not smart with the ball. In big games he chokes, and that's when the real quarterbacks separate themselves.
Yeah. Plus, I feel this Alabama quarterbacks never really kind of pan out. You look at how good A.J. McCarron was, and where is he now?
Yeah, nobody even knows. I don't even know if he's still in the league. I'm not high on Alabama quarterbacks either. I just think when you're throwing to guys that are just studs everywhere. It's not that hard. And if you look,
Exactly.
when Tua was the backup, he was able to come in and ball out. And I'm blanking on the names. Hurts. Yeah, he was the main guy. And now look what he's doing. He's so good, like, in his system. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the Colts do, free agency, or try to draft a quarterback. I wouldn't be surprised, but maybe in the first round, go get a wide receiver.
Yeah,
Because T.Y. Hilton
T.Y.'s
hasn't
getting
been
old.
that guy at all.
Really
He's getting old.
Solid number 2.
So maybe look for them to try to get like a Jake Fromm or somebody they can develop in the second round. But it'll be interesting to see how they finish the season out. And they're definitely, if you're a Colts fan, the expectations were so low coming in once Luck retired, and now I just imagine if they had Andrew
got a
Luck.
playoff shot. Oh my God! Yeah. If they had Andrew Luck,
They could
I think
honestly be like a
make the Super
2-loss
Bowl.
team, and we would be talking Colts might win the Super Bowl because he's a game changer. But that wraps Thursday night football game up. Like we said, Colts 20-17 loss against the Texans. Give credit to the Texans having a good season. Watson's being that pick they hoped he would be. And now we're going to go some fantasy football and starts and sits for the week. No Josh on the other side of the studio today, dealing with some family issues, so I miss you, Josh. But, we'll have you back next week. We're going to miss your craziness this week. But we'll get it going now. Starts and sits.
I'm going to start DK Metcalf. The Eagles secondary, recently, has been kind of playing a little bit better as they're getting healthier. But I still don't think they can really match up well with the Seahawks. Now have Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and Josh Gordon. That's kind of a handful for anybody, let alone a secondary that struggled as much as they do. So I'm going to start DK Metcalf. I think they'd focus more on stopping Tyler Lockett because he's been blowing up a lot. So I think all the focus would be on him, and then I think that's going to open up a lot for Metcalf.
The Eagles defense has been playing a lot better, though, recently. So that'll be something to look for in that game. We'll get to that a little later.
Yeah, I'll give him credit.
I understand 100%. I'm starting Metcalf, too, if I have him.
And I'm going to sit Emmanuel Sanders. He's going to play today against the Packers, but the Packers actually have kind of a good pass defense in a way sometimes. They have a good pass rush. Their secondaries can be questionable at times. But he hurt his ribs 2 weeks ago. He was questionable last week, played, and then got re-injured on the first or second drive, and didn't get a full week of practice in. He's going to play, but I don't really know how comfortable I am playing him. So if you have a better option, then you should probably start someone else instead.
Your starts?
I got to start Allen Robinson just because he's going against the Giants. I think it's going to be a good bounce-back game for them and Trubisky.
And he's the number one target.
Number one target. Always gets kind of looks and carries, catches, all that. So I think it's going to be a really big kind of bounce-back game for him. Another start, I got Dallas Goedert, the second tight end for the Eagles, mainly because he's been getting a lot of red zone targets.
Yeah.
And we run a lot of tight end screens to him and all that. Obviously, Zach Ertz will get his catches, but Goddard has been looked at in the red zone a lot the last few weeks. And then I'm sitting Amari Cooper. Last week he got shut down by Darius Slay. This week he's going to get Stephon Gilmore.
Stephon Gilmore quietly the best corner in the league this year.
I think he's the best corner in the league.
Because he doesn't really go about his business as some of the other elite corners do, talking all that trash. He's just the guy. He's kind of like the Patriots person you expect him to be.
He's the perfect Patriots person.
Yeah.
He's that good and just doesn't talk.
Exactly.
I don't get it. And then my last sit, I'm going Marquis Brown. Just because, going against Jalen Ramsey, Lamar Jackson loves to run and use his 3 tight ends. Don't really see him getting that many catches.
Yeah, if you're going to start Brown, you got to hope for a 45, 50-yard touchdown to get you 12 points.
He's not going to get you those kind of receptions.
Yeah, he's
not going to get you
he's a 2 to 5 reception at most kind of guy.
Big play, just big play
big play capability in deeper leagues because there's a ton of buys this week.
Yeah, exactly.
I am starting Marquis Brown in my league, but I'm not really sure how I feel about it.
Right.
It's kind of just I have to play him with Tyreek Hill being on the bye. So I'm hoping to get that deep touchdown or maybe even 2 deep catches, get over 100 yards somehow. But my starts, I'm starting the Browns defense, even without Myles Garrett. We all know what happened last couple weeks with that suspension and the whole thing. But they're still a solid group on defense. Yes, he makes them an elite group when he's healthy. I wouldn't say elite, but he's an elite talent. But they're playing the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
Ryan Fitzpatrick's going to throw at least 2 interceptions. And
he always does.
Yeah, it seems like he always does because he just kind of chucks it up. I feel like the Dolphins, that's their attitude. They don't even care.
It's
Fitzpatrick just go throw the ball. Yeah,
go make a play.
Exactly.
They somehow managed to find a way to mess up tanking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't.
Yeah, we don't. I don't even know
how they
what's.
did that.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that organization. But also, this is going to be surprising to some people. I'm starting O.J. Howard this week, the tight end for the Buccaneers. He hasn't been doing great. 2 weeks ago, 4 receptions, 40 yards, and a touchdown. He's an elite talent. Like he's not. I don't know what's going on with him.
He's an elite talent, but they don't use
They
him.
don't
like
use
he's
Even
an
their
elite
head
talent.
coach said that he plays good in practice and not in games.
Well, today's his day.
What do you have to do for your head coach to say that you play well in practice, to open to the public, you play good in practice, but you suck when it comes to
Well, he had
playing the game?
that one interception that he called. So he had
Yeah,
had it
he
behind
called
his
it.
back, and he kind of threw it behind his back, and then just landed in the guy's hands.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and that was his only
Can't come back
target.
from
That was his
that.
only target.
Yeah,
You got to throw him the ball again for him to go off.
off. They just sit him the rest of the game.
But
I mean,
I'm expecting a decent day from him. 5 receptions, 70
Yeah, 5
yards.
yards is what we're
5 yards
expecting.
is that's yeah.
Five
That's what you should be
receptions,
expecting.
70 yards, and a touchdown for him. My sits, stud wide receiver for the Denver Broncos that doesn't get talked about a lot, Cortland Sutton.
He's very good.
Really good, solid player. He's the only reason I think they have 3 wins. He's their only offense at times
Really is.
when Lindsey struggles. But don't start him this week. Sit him. I don't know. I just don't really trust the whole Denver team. I don't know. Just sit him. And then also sit Josh Gordon. I know it's an intriguing matchup. Doesn't get many targets, and he's going against the Eagles' defense. He's that third-string wide receiver, usually the guy that ends up getting the catches in big games when you focus on the other two. But I don't really like him in this matchup either. I'm sitting Josh Gordon. So anything else you guys want to add? Any more sits, starts? No. Yeah, just I think if you start and sit these guys, hopefully you'll have a good week. Coming down to the wire. At least I'm fighting for a playoff spot in my league right now. I think we all are.
Yeah,
Struggling the last
definitely am.
couple weeks. Been a lot of big injuries lately to some key players, especially on my team. You know, just everybody seems to go down at the worst times. But hopefully you guys are doing better in your leagues than we are and get to the playoffs and, win that fantasy league. But exciting Sunday we got 4 or 5 really good games this week, and we're only going to get to talk about 3 of them. I'll let you start it, Luke. Eagles Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm going Eagles Seahawks. I mean, we got Carson Wentz versus Russell Wilson. I know Carson has not been playing to the standards. That's what he is. But when playing in Philly, your standards are very high, so you can never play them. Eagles wide receivers are so bad. They are just so bad. We have Alshon Jeffrey out today, most likely out. Nelson Aguilar out today. Jordan Howard out today.
Well, Nelson Aguilar being out is not
Yeah, it's kind of a good
necessarily
thing
the
in a
worst
way.
thing.
In a way, it's a good thing.
I don't know why they haven't tried to go to Ortega-Whiteside more.
Because
they don't
can't
even
get
know
open. They can't get open.
I don't really watch religiously, but now I understand it.
Yeah. They can't get open. I mean, obviously you can put it on Carson, especially last week. That was a bad game. But when the receivers just can't get open, it is brutal.
You can't get open. That forces you to hold the ball.
Yep,
Pressure
and then
gets
that
in your
turns into
face.
sacks,
And
turnovers,
fumbles.
all that.
Exactly.
And the Seahawks always beat us. Literally always. Like past few years, they beat us. Even when we won the Super Bowl that year, they were one of our 3 losses. So, not looking forward to playing against Russell Wilson. But again, we're gonna pull it out somehow.
Everybody likes to say that Lamar Jackson's front runner for the MVP right now,
Because he is.
but I expect Russell Wilson to get. I don't think so. I think Russ is the MVP. You got to look at stats. You got to compare them. Yeah, Lamar's ran more, but Russell has 5 more total touchdowns than him.
Yeah.
But I
Lamar
expect.
Jackson
I completely get
is
that.
right now statistically either the first or second best quarterback in the NFL on the best team in the NFL. He's the MVP.
Yeah, he's the MVP
Not the
as of
best,
right now.
Not the best team in the NFL.
Right now they are.
No,
He is
no,
He is
no.
Who's better?
The Patriots.
with about
Beat
stop.
the Patriots.
They just dismantled the Patriots.
But they're still better.
Without the extra 20 touchdowns that Mahomes had at this point, it's the same way that Mahomes won the MVP last year.
Yeah, but Mahomes didn't have guys nipping at his heels. He did, then they fell off. But Russell Wilson's not going to fall off, and I expect
really
him.
don't
I
think
expect
he
him
will.
to
I
win
really
the
don't
MVP.
think he's nipping at his heels, to be honest.
He's 5 more touchdowns than him.
I mean,
And
I
watch,
get that,
when
but
he
also,
throws for 350
but
yards and 4 touchdowns today and puts
he
himself
most
back
likely
into
will
the
because
discussion.
he always does it. He will put himself back in discussion because I think he's second MVP. But
Oh,
right
I
now,
think-
Lamar
I think they're
Jackson is
top.
having that good of a season that
Right now-
nobody expected.
Right now, in 1 month, Lamar Jackson has beaten Tom Brady, Deshaun Jackson, and Russell Wilson.
Sean Watson.
Sean Watson.
What did I say?
Said Deshaun Jackson.
It's all right, though.
Sorry.
Where's
But-
Deshaun Jackson at this point?
So Lamar is playing 1 on 11. He's playing by himself. Is he? Is he playing
I
behind?
mean, when you look at some of the runs he had last week, he had a double spin move.
His team has beat the Texans, the Patriots, and whoever else.
The Seahawks.
The Seahawks.
But who's been leading those wins? Lamar Jackson.
The defense.
Lamar Jackson.
All right, Lamar Jackson beat the Patriots, but against those other two teams, he didn't do as well.
He still had very good days.
I mean, do as well.
He did all right. Against the
very
Texans,
good
he
games.
struggled.
He has like
he has
like 250 passing yards and 100 rushing yards every game.
But he doesn't.
Struggling,
break Mike
struggling
Vick's
is a
rushing
really different
I
thing.
want to say struggling because he's a game changer, but I still think Russell Wilson.
You're just defending your guy.
I'll go back.
They're disrespecting him.
I'll go back.
He's still second.
I'll go back to last year. If Mahomes had a game where he threw for 250 yards and 2 touchdowns, he's considered struggling because every other game he had 405 touchdowns.
Yeah. So
if Lamar Jackson has 200 yards passing, 100 yards rushing, and 3 touchdowns, he struggled because usually he has 300, 100, and 4 touchdowns.
But if you look at the stats, I'm telling you, Russell Wilson is closer. Oh, if you're going to put him second, he's closer than
I'm putting him second. I mean, obviously he's not a far second.
No.
But
because he's
I think
thrown for
whoever
more
third is
touchdowns
very far
and
down.
less interceptions. But he doesn't even have that run game.
What I mean by
Lamar.
he's second and not nipping at his heels is not that he's like a distant second, but I don't think as of right now it's an arguable point. I think Russell Wilson could pass him throughout the rest of the season.
I think he will.
But right now, I think Lamar Jackson's the clear MVP.
Yeah, I'll give you that. But I feel like once someone schemes away to Lamar, if they ever find him,
I don't know.
I don't know if you can. Like, he's that elite.
Patriots tried, and look how that worked out for them.
So we'll see. But let's get back to the Eagles Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how I feel about this one. And I don't think Vegas knows how they feel about this one. If you look at the line, it's even. So it's a toss-up, which is surprising to me with the Seahawks coming in at 8-2. But I'll kick it off. I'm going to go Seahawks 24, Eagles 14. I just don't think the Eagles score.
Yeah,
Their defense will play fine. If you hold Russell Wilson to 24 points, it's a good game. You hold that Seahawks offense to 24 points, it's a good game. But like you said, no Alshon, no Aguilar, no Jordan Howard. Can anybody get open?
Oh, okay. I'll go. I got Eagles winning because, I always got to be positive. Always got to pick them to win because they always will.
You have to.
I'm going
undefeated
Eagles. Yeah, we're undefeated, just like the Sixers. Eagles are going to win 20-17. Jake Elliott, game-winning field goal.
How long?
55.
Wow.
Well, I mean, he makes those and he misses extra points.
Yeah, very consistent.
I'm going to go Seahawks 28, Eagles 21.
Nice. And trust me, your kicker is not your biggest problem, at least.
No, our kicker is
your kicker's
very
fine.
good, actually.
All
We
right.
have
Next game, Sunday Night Football. Really excited for this one. It got flexed to the 8:20 slot that took over this Eagles-Seahawks game. Packers, 49ers. Got to start off talking about this 49ers defense, allowing 15.5 points per game and only 253 total yards and 39 sacks. Already, 39 sacks, lead the NFL in sacks. I hate to say this, they have the best defensive line in all of football. It's close. I mean, not hate to say this, but
I can see that.
I mean, you hate to say it because your argument would be the Bears, but that's not a very good.
Without Akeem Hicks.
Even with Akeem, that's
Nick
not.
Bosa is good. You got Rick Armstead, DeForest Buckner.
And,
I think they do.
Hometown guy from South Jersey comes off the bench in that reserve role. Julian Taylor went to high school. Shout out, Little Williamstown High School. Local kid in the NFL. But defense is elite.
Yeah, the defense is very good. I mean, they haven't played that many great teams, so I can see the difference looking elite. But even against Russell Wilson, they looked pretty good. I mean,
that was a good game.
That was a very good game. That was a very entertaining game. But against Aaron Rodgers on prime time, I don't know how that defense is going to look after tonight.
And the Packers defense is, I want to say just as good, but so much better than it was last year. When you give Aaron Rodgers a defense, you let him not have to do the whole.
Well, they started out really well, and then recently they haven't been playing as great.
But still, they're better than what Rodgers has had in the
But
last
I mean,
they're
I think
probably the best defense.
I think like the 49ers won't let the Packers break like 30, but the Packers, I think the 49ers will struggle to score to the point where you'll see when we get to my score, I don't think the Packers need to score a ridiculous amount of points to win.
I agree with that.
That's
That's my biggest knock on the 49ers. They do good controlling they love to run the ball. They love to go that slow, old
They're
style.
like the Ravens last year, kind of, with a better defense.
But
if they can't run the ball.
That's why I worry about them going into the playoffs.
It's tough.
Because I don't know if teams just stack the box like they do against Trubisky. Like, that's my best comparison. That's who the 49ers remind me of. They remind me of this last year's Bears team, but just with a little better quarterback and better wide receivers.
Yeah.
But I want to see that coming down the stretch. They're starting to play good teams. They're going to get the Seahawks again.
Mm-hmm.
And
then they're getting the Saints
yeah,
at some point.
I want to see if Jimmy G can step up and get some confidence going into the playoffs. And if he does and he wins them some games, this team's dangerous.
Yeah,
but that's right now the biggest knock on the 49ers is Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
And that offense as a whole.
So what do we go for score?
I'm going to go with the Packers in this one. I'm going to go 27-17. I think it'll be close. It'll be like a 3-point game, and then late they'll score a touchdown, and then they'll kind of just not blow it open, but just late touchdown by the Packers, going to give them a 10-point lead, and then Jimmy G's going to turn it over or something, and the Packers will just run the clock out.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think the Packers will score like an average amount of points for like a football game, which the 49ers are holding teams to a below average amount of points for a football game. But so if you score average, you're exceeding expectation. I think the Packers win 21-10.
I got Packers also winning, not breaking 30. I'm going 26-17.
Yeah, kind of low. You want to say low scoring game, but to the Packers, 24 is pretty solid against this defense. Mm-hmm. But last game, Monday Night Football, correct? Patriots Cowboys, you got it.
I'm really looking at the Cowboys running game and Dak against the Patriots defense. The Patriots defense was like really like piped up to be something special at the beginning of the year, and like there were talks it would be like a legendary kind of defense. But really, they didn't play anybody. Mm-hmm. And last week they played
Eagles.
2 weeks ago then they played the Ravens and got destroyed. And even the Eagles kind of gave them a little bit of a
10 points.
Yeah, we had 10 points.
But it wasn't as dominant as it was when you play like the Dolphins and hold them to nothing.
They're getting like consistent.
Two touchdowns.
The first like I think it was 6 weeks of fantasy football, the 7th ranked total scorer in all fantasy football was the Patriots defense.
And there was a stat, I think, like you said, 6 games through the year. If Brady didn't play a single, or if the offense for the Patriots didn't go on the field once, they'd be 3-3.
So I mean, I think Brady actually might not play. So it could be Jarrett Stidham in there. And
I don't even know who that is.
He played for Auburn 2 years ago.
Oh, I do remember him actually. It's weird.
So I think
you
actually
just don't hear from him because nobody.
He's a backup
Tom Brady
on the Patriots.
I'm going to be interested to see how Belichick approaches playing the Cowboys, because whether he chooses to stop Zeke or stop Dak. I'm actually hoping he chooses Zeke because I have Dak and fantasy. But I actually think the Cowboys' run game is going to kind of go off, and I think it'll be actually close. But I think we'll see what we get to.
That is actually a very good point, who Belichick is going to choose, because the last few weeks the Cowboys have been passing the ball way more than running the ball.
Yeah.
And they haven't been able to get Zeke going.
But Dak's been balling out.
Yeah, Dak has been very good.
People have been very skeptical on him, but he's
been good. I'll give him credit. Yeah. So that's why I kind of think Belichick's going to key more on Dak and taking away Amari Cooper, because you see last week they kind of almost lost to the Lions just by Darius Slay kind of taking away Amari Cooper. The Lions have a better offense because they're missing Carson, they're missing Matt Stafford.
Well, Matt Stafford didn't play.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. They're missing him.
Oh, okay.
So, I think if they had those guys, they could have won that game.
Mm-hmm. But the people don't talk. I mean, because it's Tom Brady, he's the GOAT. But people don't talk about how bad he's been and how bad the offense has been. Brady's owned up to it. Yeah. He said, "I got to do better. I got to get more points. Mm-hmm. Like I'm relying on my defense." But if he doesn't play. Mm-hmm. I wonder if they'll sit him, not intentionally, but if he's even questionable, I would sit him because I think they want to see what they have.
Yeah, I think this Cowboys defense hasn't been great either. They let up a lot of yards per game, so I think this could be a good game for Brady to kind of bounce back.
And the Patriots need to try to find that backup or the young quarterback, so they might get Stidham.
Realistically, I hate the argument of you're playing the Patriots and then you're like, oh, like the other team's going to win, and the other person just goes, well, it's Tom Brady.
Not anymore.
That doesn't always work. If you're going to argue that, then it has to universally work all the time. If Tom Brady's 80 years old, you can't say, well, it's Tom Brady. So, like, at some point, he's going to start to decline, and people really need to accept that, and that's right now. Like, he's statistically probably having the worst year of his career. And you can't just say they're playing the Patriots, they have Tom Brady, that gives them some type of advantage. I mean, when your quarterback's like 42 years old, the advantage kind of evens out a little bit.
I think they're just saying, well, it's Tom Brady because all he does is win.
Right.
I mean, regardless of how well he plays, he just finds ways to win games. Whether it's I don't know.
Well, at that point,
the better argument would be, it's Bill Belichick.
Yeah, it's Belichick. That's exactly what I was about to say. Like, well, you're playing Belichick, so they're going to find a way to win.
Yeah, the greatest coach of all time.
Yes.
I think, in my opinion. At least, you look what he's done over the last, 15 years?
Yeah.
Just unbelievable. That organization, always a top team. I don't even think when Brady retires, they'll fall off because as long as Belichick's the coach of that football team, they'll make the playoffs.
I think once Belichick leaves,
and as long as they're in that division.
Yeah, that is very true because that division will never be good
Yeah,
again.
because Dolphins.
Never.
So
Dolphins.
We're going score?
Yeah, I'll go Patriots 20, Cowboys 17.
Okay, I'm going to go Cowboys 30, Patriots 28.
You think they're going to hang 30?
Yep.
Wow.
Well, I think if the Cowboys hang 30, there's no way the Patriots score 28 points.
No. I'm going to
Especially
go
if so,
Patriots 24, Cowboys 13. I think this Patriots kind of offense gets back in.
I kind of like where Eric's coming from on this one though, because you saw how well the Ravens ran the ball, and I wonder if Coach.
They haven't been able to run the ball.
I wonder if Garrett will let Dak run, read options, because that's what. I'm not
mean,
saying he is Lamar Jackson.
The Ravens
but
put up what, 31?
38.
35.
Okay, well, I think the Cowboys can put up 30 in that case,
100%.
and I don't think the Cowboys' defense is as good as the Ravens, so I think it'll kind of be a back and forth.
Yeah.
That'd be good to see.
I like that. Well, that would be a fun game to watch if it's that.
As long as the Patriots
So
win.
those are the 3 games highlighted this week. Now we're going to get into the fun part, bold predictions. Who wants to start it off?
I'll go.
You got it.
So I have Tyler Lockett playing the Eagles. Now, I said he might kind of get shadowed a little bit, but that doesn't mean this can't happen. 1 receiving touchdown and 1 return touchdown.
Oh, wow.
The Eagles seem kind of prone to obnoxious touchdowns that probably shouldn't happen. So I think he either returns kicks or punts for Seattle. Maybe both.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Actually.
Well, I think he's going to run 1 back, and then I think he's going to have 1 receiving touchdown, but I think he might have 3 catches for 20 yards and a touchdown. Second, Jimmy Garoppolo is going to throw for no touchdowns and 2 picks against the Packers. I said they'll score 10 points. I think they'll run a touchdown, kick a field goal. And then Lamar Jackson is going to have at least 450 scrimmage yards. That's 300 passing and 150 rushing at least.
He's going to account for all.
So he's going to count for 90% of the Ravens' yards. Yeah.
Seems like he does every week.
Yeah, seems fair. All right, I got first bold prediction. The Dolphins are going to beat the Browns. Telling you it's going to happen. They won the last 2 weeks. They're messing up their tank.
Then
it's going to happen today.
They lost previously, though. So they won 2.
Well, they have 2 wins.
Well, here's the thing, though.
That's all I know.
It is still technically no tank November.
Oh, true.
So they have
That
to
is
keep
true.
winning until December, and then they can
And
start
then
losing.
they start just dropping the
They just wanted
games.
to tell people, yeah, we're tanking on
Like, oh,
purpose.
yeah,
No, the
don't worry.
Bengals are cheating, and they're actually
True,
just still
yeah.
tanking. They just didn't even take up that
They
idea.
don't care.
They're that committed to the first
They
pick.
just want Chase
Joe
Young
Burrow.
that bad.
Oh,
Chase Young.
Joe Burrow.
Best player in college football, Chase Young.
Facts.
And then the next one, I'm going Trubisky, your boy, 250 and 3 touchdowns. Going against a Giants team. They just look, I don't know, depleted out there, just bored. They don't want to be
Honestly,
out there.
I kind of hope he doesn't do that because I'm trying to get a new quarterback.
I think every
really?
bold
Well,
prediction that someone has said something good about Mr. Trubisky, he's thrown 40 passes for 10 yards and 3 picks.
It's going to end up being.
He doesn't throw many picks. He just doesn't complete
he
any
will
passes.
somehow.
No, yeah, his completion percentage will probably be 40.
Yeah,
But
it's all right.
we'll see how it goes.
It happens.
I got faith. So, my last one. This might be the boldest one ever. Matt Collins and J.J. Arcega-Whiteside will combine for 100 receiving yards. Last week, our receivers total didn't even combine for 100 receiving yards.
You see the year stat? How
Yes.
Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas
has
has
more receptions and
than our wide
yards.
receivers.
And
yards.
Which is, it's kind of slanted because you have to remember they throw the tight ends a lot. So it's
Yes,
still,
but also,
just
this is
it
all
shows
of
you
our
how bad the
receivers.
receiving core is.
Yes.
Now that might
Including
actually be
receiving
the
core.
boldest prediction yet on the show. And I remember earlier this year when I predicted the Patriots would win by 50 points.
Yeah,
That almost happened.
That's a crazy one. We'll see if they even get a catch.
Yeah,
If we're being honest, that's
my first bold prediction was going to be they combined for 2 catches. But
and that might even be
we're bumping
crazier
it
than
up.
100
We got
yards.
faith.
Maybe one will catch an 80-yard touchdown.
Actually,
and
the
other
boldest one was it Luke or Matt that said that Antonio Brown would play the week he was suspended.
Wow. That wasn't me. Oh, wow.
Somebody was like Antonio. Yeah.
It was Matt.
Wow.
He was like Antonio Brown was suspended, and he was like he's gonna play this week.
Yeah. Well, I'll kick mine off. I think the Browns, even without Myles Garrett, are gonna score a defensive touchdown. Because Dolphins. That's all you gotta say.
Fitzpatrick.
Fumble 6, pick 6. I don't know.
Anything.
We'll see. Ryan Fitzpatrick may just throw one blind and it'll go the other way for a touchdown. Russell Wilson, 350 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Russell Money Wilson.
Russell Money Wilson.
Thanks, Josh.
Yep. Tribute to Josh there. 350 yards, 4 touchdowns. I think he would love this pick too. But I'm not sure because he's going against his Eagles, But I don't know how I feel about that one.
You got to start Russell Money Wilson.
It's raining, so I don't know. Wet conditions. It's kind of pouring outside here in Philly.
Good for Chris Carson.
Yeah, but we'll see if he can, go off. And my last one, Kenny Golladay. Haven't talked about him in a while. Haven't heard from him in a while. He's been solid, getting like 50, 60 yards a game. But I think he's going to go for 150 and 2 touchdowns this week.
Wow.
So hopefully some of our bold predictions are going to hit this week. We'll see.
Probably not.
I mean, yeah, they seem to never pan out. That's why they are bold predictions. But that's all we have this week, Sunday morning preview. Yet again, Billy Hunt here with Eric Van Horn and Luke Nichols. Thank you for watching. Good luck to your fantasy teams. Good luck to your regular teams. And we will see you next week.